Can you see me?
Yeah, I
To
see you.
come over. Hey guys, how are you
Hey,
today?
y'all.
So I'm excited because today is after herpes. As you can see, this beautiful girl right here, this is Crystal. I've
Hey,
talked about
everybody.
Crystal before. If you are in my support group, you know who Crystal is. I met Crystal. When did we meet?
2016, beginning of
So
2016.
2016. Hold on, guys. This is kind of weird. We're trying to
We're trying to
squeeze.
squeeze. They
We're on
want
an
us to
iPhone. We're
rotate.
trying to squeeze together. But at the end of the day, me and Crystal, like we met in 2016. We was doing an MLM together, and Crystal put in the MLM because we sold products. Hey, we sold products. She asked about a product to use for herpes, and here did I come. Hey, I know what it is. I can help you. And after that, I say about a month or so ago, like after that, she reached out to me and she was like, "Hey, that was for me." And I was like, "Girl, I knew. What do you
Okay,
need?"
she being modest about it, y'all. That's not how it happened. So I found out I had herpes, and I came on the little group that we had for our MLM and was like, "Hey, do we have products that work for this?" This crazy lady right here came in there like a wrecking ball because other people were commenting and giving advice, but was wrong. And she was like, "Hey, I got herpes. This is what works." She's kind of like shut the whole post down. So it took
Nobody
a
posted
while.
after that.
Nobody else posted after that. Like people were kind of scared because she just really shut it down. But so it took a while to kind of get up the courage to message her. And when I did, I was just like, "Hey, that was really for me. Thanks for the advice." And her response was, "Oh, I know. I've been waiting on you." And she's stuck with me ever since.
Yes. So with Crystal, this whole video is after herpes. I want y'all to understand that after herpes, you can still build relationships. You can still build friendships. She is like her and like another young girl. Well, she's young. Lisa older than us.
Yeah.
That's our like big sister. Like she real grown. But she gonna probably be mad at us if we said that. But anyway. But anyways, guys, this whole video is to let you guys that you can have a life after. Like me and Crystal just went to see Alva Ailey.
It was awesome.
As you can see, we're matching. That wasn't
That
like,
was not intentional.
That wasn't intentional.
It just happened.
I was celebrating her birthday, so we celebrate her birthday and Valentine's Day together. So I want y'all to understand, it's kind of difficult living with this and then also living with it with friends who don't have it. I'm not opposing that you have to have a friend who have it, but I'm telling you, support groups will open a door to you meeting somebody who's in your same city, which she wasn't in the same city. She lived in Tampa, and I told her she's moving to Atlanta because I just told her she's moving to Atlanta.
I completely rejected that and ended up here a year later.
And she's here with me, and she's in my house all the time. She's my friend. I love her. But at the end of the day, guys, like I wasn't expecting to meet somebody. I have great friends, and Crystal do as well. She has amazing friends as well. And but at the end of the day, being truthful, our friends didn't get it.
Absolutely not.
They were supportive. They loved us, and things of that nature. But all they could do is like, "Girl, I'm here for you, and if you need to talk, I'm here." How was your friends?
My friends were supportive, and then I had a few who were just like, "I don't know what to say, so I'm not gonna say anything at all," type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. Like everybody, they try to be as supportive as they can. It's kind of like, I'm here for you. I don't understand, but if you want to talk. But it's kind of hard. Like, at some point, you need somebody to talk to who understands what you're going through. It helps. So, like, just getting a support group, it was just nice to know, like, okay, I'm not the only one dealing with this. There's other people, and they doing stuff, and they living their life like normal people, instead of sitting in a closet in my room, like, I don't know what to do. My friends don't have herpes. I don't want to go nowhere with them because they don't understand.
And they seem like they're getting bored. Guys talking to them.
They're getting into relationships. Their education's going great. They're getting new jobs. And I'm sitting over here like, yeah, I got herpes.
Nothing's great happening at this moment.
Right. And they didn't get it. So it was nice to have somebody talk to who got it.
So I want you guys to understand that it's nothing wrong with get into support groups, because I want y'all to understand that you're going to build friendships. You're going to meet some people that you like, oh my God, you're awesome. Like, I love you. And clearly, where have you been? You're going to also see in some support groups some people who you're cool with. And they're in the group too. Or
people who,
that cause some issues in your relationship as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you guys to understand that life keep going on. Crystal could have been mopey and decided she didn't want to do it. But what Crystal did was she reached out to me. She was like my second client, overcoming session client, coaching client. And that's when I first started it.
I was a test dummy, y'all. So
she was not a test dummy.
No, you're right. I wasn't a test dummy because even in the beginning,
Lisa was first.
Lisa was a test dummy. So you're welcome.
Yeah, so
any kinks that there were, that got worked out on us. But even so, she was still able to help us move past it and, help us realize that we had other stuff going on outside of herpes and that herpes wasn't the end all be all and that life goes on. And now we turned up partners.
She's my twerk friend.
It's my twerk partner. We vacation.
She's my twerk friend. But most importantly, I want to tell y'all about Crystal. Crystal decided that she was going to tell the world. I really wasn't expecting that, but she decided she's going to tell the world too.
I wouldn't expect
And
that either.
Crystal now helps young ladies who decided to stay with a partner who had herpes. Crystal didn't come into the door and, got it and then end up getting a relationship and finding out or going to get tested to find out. Crystal got into a relationship with a guy and he told her. So you can kind of share that.
So, when I was in college, I dated a guy who, in the beginning when we started dating, we didn't know that he had herpes. And so, once things started getting serious, he found out and I had a decision to make. And I decided to stay. At the time, I was like, well, kind of like you now. Ain't going anywhere. But it was a lot to learn in a little bit of time. Like, I literally had 48 hours to learn everything I could possibly learn about herpes. All the stuff that you were never taught. So just, in that experience, like, I didn't have herpes, so I got into the relationship with him. Accepted it. Realized that there were some obstacles that we had to overcome through it. Learned a lot in that relationship and then got out of it. Still didn't have herpes. Or, to my knowledge, I didn't. And found out 4 years later after the relationship ended that I had herpes. So now I've just decided to help people in similar situations or who are thinking about being in similar situations. Because at this point, I've been on every side of the fence. I've been the girl who was dating somebody, that had it but didn't have it. I've been in the relationship and know how the relationship functions when, one person's struggling with it and you don't have it. I've been in the end of the relationship where it's ended and I'm like, well, I'm the one who accepted you. I did feel like that, twisted as it was. But like, I'm the girl who accepted you with herpes. So
you have no right to do me wrong.
Right. So like when somebody does you wrong, you're like, dude, like seriously? That's how I was. So just understanding the emotional aspect of ending a relationship after being in a relationship with someone who has it. And then also contracting it after this relationship is over. Like, okay, well, we not together no more and now I have this. What do I do?
How did you feel
when I contracted it?
Mm-hmm. Be honest.
A range of emotions. It was real deal. It was like, seriously. I felt like it was a punishment. Okay, so backstory, y'all. Back it up a little bit. I decided to be celibate in November of 2015.
Angelo.
And in December of 2015, I found out I had herpes. So my initial reaction was, this is punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had decided to be celibate before that. Stuck to it for a couple of months, and then I backslid. And, kind of broke my commitment. So my initial reaction was, I'm being punished for what I've done. And then my second reaction was anger. I was super furious and resentful and all the stuff we thought you were done with dealing with that relationship came rushing back because then it became you did this, I accepted you, you did this to me, and now I have herpes. But yeah, my emotions were kind of all over the place.
How did you deal with those emotions? Like, spite that y'all wasn't in a relationship, how did you deal with that? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people on here who probably did accept somebody who had it. We don't really talk about it from that spectrum, but they decided to stay with somebody and they end up getting it, and then the relationship didn't go as well like they thought and they ended it. How do you think they should move past that? Like, how did you move past it?
I think the first thing was I had to take some type of responsibility because at first I placed the blame on him a lot, but then I also took on a lot of the blame. Because I took on that you shouldn't have stayed, you knew what you were getting yourself into type of thing. So I had to learn how to share the responsibility and realize that it wasn't my fault and there was absolutely nothing I could have done to prevent it. We were that couple who did everything we could to we learned as much as we could. We took ridiculous precautions, like to the point where it caused arguments.
Talk about the precautions that y'all took.
Okay, y'all. So
I know some of you guys are doing. Like, I want y'all to realize sometimes that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was about to say things that really don't matter. Like herpes is past the skin to skin. So on his I had decided I didn't care. I'm accepting you. On his end, he was doing stuff like, we can't have sex unless I have my boxers on type of thing. Like, we can only, I have to keep my clothes on, and you can't do this and you can't do that. No orals, like stuff like just ridiculous precautions to the point where it was actually destroying our sex life and affecting our relationship. Because I'm on one end saying, "Hey, I don't care," and he's on the other end like, "No, no, no, I have to protect you." Blah blah blah. So just from that aspect of realizing that it was certain things that we didn't know were coming. Nobody told us that we were going to struggle in certain areas because of herpes. Nobody told us that, hey, you guys, it's okay to do this. It's okay to have a real relationship. It's okay to have a real sex life. I think the biggest thing was that there was no support. We didn't have any support because he didn't want to tell anybody. He wasn't comfortable talking to me about it because even though he was dealing with it, he wanted to be a manly man. So there was no like, hey, I'm having a meltdown, babe. Like, I just kind of had to watch him go through it and try to help when I could. And I couldn't talk to anybody about it because that would be telling his business. Even my best friend couldn't talk to her about it because she was totally against the idea of me saying. She was like, girl, you crazy. You should leave. Like, real deal. My best friend. So
The hookup friend.
And the person who hooked us up was like, girl, that's a deal breaker. Run.
So, also, I heard you talk about the whole thing of dealing with him and you didn't know what to do. Like, explain some things that you experienced with your partner. I know a lot of people are dealing with this, and I talked about this the other day, how difficult it is to be with a partner and they're having a meltdown. Like, some of the things that you experienced and how it took a toll on you.
Well, the thing about him was he wasn't having, and I think that thing a lot of people we don't realize about the men, like it hits them just as hard as it hits us, but they take it differently. When we have a meltdown, we act out, we cry, we want to talk about our feelings. We're like, oh my gosh, I feel this way, my life is over. Men don't do that, or at least not in front of us. They're not gonna do it. They're gonna be like, I'm good, and that's exactly what I got. I'm good. Babe, you want to talk about? No, I'm good. So from my experience, I kind of just had to be on the end of, I think, like, now that I know better, I would say positive affirmations, just kind of speaking life to them on a regular basis helps. Because, and making them feel comfortable talking about it. Like, okay, let's go get educated together. Let's find out what our options are. Let's, talk about how you're feeling about it, how it affects you. Do you want to talk to your family about it? Do you not want to talk to your family about it? I think those were the issues that we were having, and they were spilling over. Okay, it spilled over into our sex life, and then that spilled over into, because now we're having unnecessary arguments over dumb stuff like wearing your boxers during sex. So,
How did it make you feel, though? Like, seeing your partner fall apart. How did that make you feel? Like, how did you talk to somebody about it? Did you kind of go, like...
I couldn't talk to anybody.
Did you write about it? Like, what did you do?
A lot of praying and a lot of crying. I couldn't talk to nobody about it. I couldn't talk to my best friend about it because she didn't understand, and she, like I said, she was like...
She was out. She was like, I'm over it.
I'm over it.
He's
like,
dead to me.
He cool. He's a great guy. Y'all are great together, but that's a deal breaker. I think you should go. So I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't talk to my family about it because...
That's outing him.
That's outing him. And then I also felt like even if there was someone who was going to walk me through it, not even without outing him, they would still have the same type of opinion that my friend had. Because they were somebody who cared about me. And so, like, with my best friend, she felt like she was protecting me by telling me those things. Like, don't be there. Move on. You're young. I was very young. So she's like, you got your whole life ahead of you. You don't want to contract something that you can't get rid of. So she felt like she was protecting me. And I feel like my family would do the same thing. So I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't talk to him.
What did it do to your self-esteem?
It crushed it. And actually, I didn't realize until recently that my self-esteem was damaged in that relationship because his self-esteem was damaged in that relationship. Beginning, we had very good communication. There were negative words were very rarely spoken. We didn't argue that much. I had self-esteem issues before I got in a relationship, but it was helping being in there. He was always very positive. You're beautiful, you're this or that. But when he contracted herpes and was crumbling on his own, he couldn't give me that because he wasn't giving it to himself. And so, like I said, it started spilling over into our relationship. I feel like the things that he felt about himself were starting to come out towards me. It was like it was taken out on me.
I love you.
I love you too.
But I want y'all to hear some of that because I know so many people dealing from different standpoints. I talk to a lot of you guys who are in relationships and you want to stay in that relationship, especially if you find out you have it, and that person found out you have it, and that one person don't have it. And I know how much strain it can put on a relationship. So I wanted y'all to hear from somebody who went through it. And I'm not saying that you're gonna contract it after because that's not always the case. She didn't tell you that you end up having sex again, so that's the main reason.
Yeah, we had a little
It was that
relapse
kind of
on
like
that.
relapse.
So we
That's
honestly
when it
don't
happened.
know. So
It
yeah,
could have happened before.
it could have happened
After.
before or after. We really
Yeah.
don't know. But that was another strain on the relationship was the fact that he always was worried about giving it to me.
What did he say to you? Like, what's some of that you hear on a date? Like you heard
I
every
heard on
day.
daily. I was constantly being asked if I was okay. You good? You don't see nothing? You sure you went to the doctor? And I'm like, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Like I said, I'm okay with this. And he's like, I don't. He was literally, I don't want to give it to you. So that's like there were all those ridiculous precautions came in when it came to our sex life, and I'd be like, why are you acting like this? He'd be like, 'cause I don't want to give it to you. I don't, want you to have to deal with this. So I was like, y'all don't do that to y'all, right? If you were in a relationship with somebody who has herpes, if you have and you don't have it and they do, shut that part down. Do your best to make them understand that you're okay with it, but also know your breaking point. I feel like we said, that relationship damaged my self-esteem, but that was because I stayed to a point, and I actually at one point felt obligated to stay, because of herpes. But I stayed to a point where it damaged me because I was putting so much into somebody else. And when you have to take care of yourself at some point. So you have to know your breaking point and vice versa. If you have herpes and you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have it and y'all are going through anything like that, you have to know your breaking point too. If this person is mistreating you and using herpes as an excuse to mistreat you, shut it down. That herpes has absolutely nothing to do with how they treat you at all.
Agreed.
It doesn't mean that you have to accept mistreatment and abuse and people talking to you crazy or people putting their hands, like herpes has absolutely nothing to do with that. If they accept it, they accept it. If not, exit stage left.
That is so true. So I kind of hope that helped. That was way more than after herpes, but I want y'all to know that support groups is major. Coaching is major, or counseling. I'm a strong believer in counseling because you'll come to learn, like she said, it's so much more than that. And we don't want to be honest and say that we had more issues.
No, yeah.
Because before, a lot of our issues we couldn't fix. If that was homelessness, if that was suicidal thoughts, if that was domestic violence, it's like I couldn't do anything about that because I didn't put that there. Somebody did that to me. And now finally, you are at a point where I have herpes. I had to control if I could get herpes or not. So now it's like, oh my God, like it's something else, and I could have prevented this. Truth be told, there's no way.
It wasn't that between medicine and all the ridiculous precautions, I'm still here.
She still got it.
I still got it. It wasn't, and then you can't control something that you don't know about and that you're not educated about. We were not taught about herpes. We were taught about HIV and gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis. Every once in a while, they would throw BV in there. But I remember in high school, herpes was literally like a sentence in the textbook.
And it was a joke.
And it was a joke. It was like, you get some bumps, period. That didn't tell us anything. We didn't know how it was contracted. The health teacher thought that somebody could give it to you, by using the same towel.
Use same towels, same
lipstick,
cups,
or
and
drinking out of a cup. Yeah,
eating you off the same utensils. And
So-
they thought it was through saliva. It's not through saliva, guys.
they
not
thought it was through saliva. They thought it was through semen or vaginal fluids. People thought it was. I've met people who have thought it was literally airborne. Like, don't breathe my air. Yeah.
Some people believe that if I have the virus, I'm contagious everywhere.
Right. Like,
And that's
don't
not
sit
true.
on that. Don't.
I can't touch your hand
I
because
actually
I haven't
had a friend that asked me, like, laying on a pillow. Like, do I need to change my pillowcase when you leave? Or is it okay for me to lay on that pillow afterwards? Because they thought that they would contract herpes just by touching the same thing that I touched.
But that's the thing. Nobody's educated about it. But most importantly, we just wanted you guys to know that you can build friendships after this. Don't think that you can't. But most importantly, get around some people who get it. Because it's very hard to go through this when you don't have anybody who get it. And I'm sure any ladies who are probably on here now who's in a support group, they're going to understand, oh my God, I can go into it. And they get it. Like, you can vent, you can cry, you can get in my inbox, probably get in Crystal inbox because she is my one of the admins in the group, or Lisa, and we're gonna all circle around. You say, "Girl, we get it. It's okay," but we're gonna most importantly, we're gonna encourage you to move past it because a lot of us choose to stay here too long.
Move past it and move past whatever the real problem
Real
is.
problem is.
Herpes is icing on the cake.
Yeah, sometimes we really need counseling. Truth be told, a lot of us really need some counseling, because, like I said, everything else was done to you. You know, if it was molestation, you know, being raped or anything, a lot of that stuff was done to you. You know, being birthed to the wrong parents, who ain't parents. You know, so many different things was done to you, and you had no control. And now this is the first time you have control once again, and
What's your finger? Let me
you lost it, you know. So I want y'all to understand it is a life after herpes. This is not the end of your life. I want you guys to live. As much as this was like, oh my life is over. You're only concerned, really, truth be told, you're only concerned about your love life because nothing else changed. You're still, most of you guys I talk to go to school, have full-time jobs. You know, you're a parent. You know, you're the one parent in your home. Or you're married, or you're business owners, or things like that. Y'all doing amazing things. That's not going to stop. You still got to make your money, you know, but y'all are still worried about the relationship part and thinking that relationship part is just a love life. A relationship part is your friends. It's your parents if you have a great relationship with them. It's your children. You can't neglect all your relationships and then end up happening because you put yourself in a corner and choose not to get assistance or help from people who get it. So I think it's very vital that you take some time to find a support group, if that's mine or any other. Get in one that is healthy, number one, and then everybody is moving forward, changing. Everybody's on the same accord because I'm not gonna lie, every group is not the same. Every group is not equal, equally yoked for you. You know, so my whole thing is very important. So, ladies, you know, if you're looking for a support group, it doesn't matter what age you are, because I seen somebody talk about it, you know, over 50, and I'm gonna answer your question in a minute. But most importantly, it doesn't matter what age we have. I have 16 all the way up to 50 plus in the group with us, and there's over 500 some ladies in that group. So don't think, you know, I can't get in there because nobody will understand. It doesn't really matter what they don't they may not understand your age and your wisdom, but they understand herpes. And honestly, that's what we're all going in. We're all going in because we have something to relate to, and after that, you can school us all day because you may know something else we know.
I'm about to say every like conversation start out as herpes, and then there's kind of like this little branch off, and it just goes like whatever the real issue is. It could be something as simple as like, "Hey y'all, I passed my test." Da, 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 da. We get excited in the group too.
Yeah.
So
I just ask people like, I want to get life insurance. Like, what life insurance you have? And the beauty is, it's older women in the group who did life insurance. So, you know, now you're getting questions about that, and some other ladies who are dealing with some serious health issues. Crystal and Lisa, Crystal is that she gonna be Dr. Crystal in a minute, but she's pharmacotech at this moment. And Lisa, she also do insurance and stuff like that. So, you know, when it comes to other health issues, now you have people in the group who know this stuff. I have another young lady who works within domestic violence, and she works on those cases. I have people who are in the military and all this other stuff. So my whole thing is, y'all don't understand, just because we got one thing to relate, that one thing to relate can branch off to everything you need. Everything you need. And we do that with everything we do. That's why we get into sororities or, you know, things like that. We find one thing that relate to, and then we branch out and serve each other. So I want y'all to understand, this is so much, it's after herpes of what you can receive and what you can get. I say, you know, it's a traumatic experience. Yes, it's hard, but my whole thing is so much good can come out of it. It sounds crazy.
Traumatic experiences birthed out the real you. Like, honestly, if you ask anybody who's successful or doing, you know, very well, it's usually tied to something traumatic, or that somebody that you would normally consider bad that happened in their life, whether it be a death in the family, or, you know, a health concern, or they may have had, you know, almost encountered death themselves, or something that was, you know, came up in their life. So I feel like the biggest issue is just understanding that it's okay to be a part of a support group. I think support groups kind of have a little bit of a stigma on them too. Oh, yeah. People have the misconception that if you have to be in a support, you know, I think a lot of people, when they think support groups,
support period,
that
you crazy.
People think you're crazy, or you. I know a lot of people struggle with, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with struggling with addiction. Everybody has sorry, y'all. Everybody has something going on. But I think that stigma has come from that. And people are like, I can't be in a support group. Like, honestly, when people think of support groups, the first thing they think of
mental health.
No, they have the stigma of the what we see on movies when you see the support group and they they introduce themselves and it's
We
like
don't do that. We
we
don't
don't do
introduce.
that. It's not like you come in there and go, "Hi everybody, my name is Crystal. I have herpes," and everybody goes,
Hi,
"Hi
Crystal.
No, support groups are not like that. They're there to do exactly what it says, support you. And like we said, it's a support group for people with herpes, but we realize that herpes, once we start getting past that stuff, herpes is a surface issue. Okay, we gonna support you with getting over your herpes, but let's also support you getting out of this relationship that's hurting you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let's support you in building your finances or your business. Let's support you in walking in your purpose, or even simple things that we take for granted, like how your kids doing, because you're struggling and you're stressed out and now your kids are reaping the effects of it. So I feel like we just have to get out of this stigma that support groups or any type of counseling or therapy or help is bad.
It's good.
Everybody needs help with something.
Yeah, nobody's perfect, and I want us to get out our mind that just because we have herpes, everybody around our life is perfect. Stop, please, y'all stop. I have friends who don't have herpes, and their life is worse than mine.
10 times.
I mean, their situation, my life is better than theirs in many areas. It may not be every area, but in many areas, my life is better than theirs. I want us to stop looking at people thinking, well, since I got this, oh my God, they look so happy. And I know Valentine's Day just passed, and Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat hurt a lot of us. It put us in a dump. And I'm being honest, when you see them you don't see them on a regular basis. Oh, I love you. You don't see that.
I'm about to say, please do not let, especially when it comes that with herpes in relationships, please do not let social media have you feeling like, oh my gosh, this is never gonna happen. 99.999% of people who are all over social media blasting their relationships, everything
not what it is.
Picture you, anybody can smile in the picture, y'all, but
you smile in the picture and you depressed.
Right, you stressed out right now, and
nobody
you
knows.
On Instagram 2.5
You're like, yes, girl, life is great.
Filters with little rabbit ears and everything. So, and I think we have to get out of the mindset that herpes is like the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to you.
There's so much other stuff that's going on.
People out here getting arms amputated, people who are on life support.
Some people have cancer.
People who are real deal fighting for their lives. Herpes is like what I had to start looking at it that way. Like, there are so many other things that could have happened to me. I could be dead.
Truth be told.
Like, I woke up this morning.
Yeah. And we're not taking away. Yeah, we're not downplaying it, but we're letting you guys know that it's so much more. And I'm sure you may be going through something plus this.
Right. So I feel like, that's what we keep saying. It's the icing on the cake.
It is.
Like, I have, my finances are going crazy, and my kids ain't acting right, and, my job's thinking about firing me. I might already have some other type of health issues, whatever is going on in your life, and then, you have all these things to deal with, and then all of a sudden, here comes herpes, and it's just like, boom.
Stop. Pause.
It's like it's like one last slap in the face. So I feel like that's the one thing that everybody's kind of taking in a minute is, that's why it's such a big thing to us. And then the stigma on top of it.
Yeah.
Isn't that something that we can openly talk about? Mm-hmm. So, when you're struggling financially, like, you can go talk to somebody about
you can get in a group.
Everybody got issues with that. You can find a group. You can talk on Facebook.
You can even go to groups. You can easily talk about HIV. You can easily talk about domestic violence. But herpes, shut down.
Right.
It ain't nowhere you can go other than these secret worlds. Mm-hmm. It's secret worlds,
But I think that's where it has to stop. It's got to stop being a secret world.
Yeah, we got to kill it. But that's what we're here for. And as y'all know, I want to tell y'all, Crystal has you have a support group for women with herpes and celibacy.
Yeah, so I have a support group for women who have herpes and are dealing with celibacy. And the reason I created that group was because when I became celibate, I found out I had herpes, and I realized it made it just 10 times much harder to be celibate, because herpes, especially when you first find out, kind of comes with that feeling of wanting to be wanted by people, especially when you're single, and wanting somebody to accept it. And sometimes when you want somebody to accept it, you feel that sex is the gateway for that. Okay, well, they accepted me with herpes, so now I'm obligated to have sex with them. And that's the complete opposite. I don't owe you anything. So in dealing with that and realizing that it was becoming an issue for me, Okay, well, now that I've gotten past that point, and I mean, those days still rise. I'm normal. I'm human.
Natural
To
desire.
help other people because celibacy is hard enough by itself.
Yeah,
It's a struggle every day. It's a
absolutely.
fight. So adding something else on top of it, like just icing on the cake.
Yeah. And she also have a YouTube. She started YouTube. So she's going to be
Started
talking
YouTube.
from her standpoint of dating somebody who had it and how life was after. So if in that situation, you want to talk to Crystal, Crystal, how they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me with accepting the unacceptable at gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Crystal, KRYSTAL, Jordan, JORDAN. And then I am also on Instagram, like 3 different
You
Instagrams.
want your main Instagram.
Main Instagram is Couture with a K. So KOUTURE with Crystal.
That's it.
And that's how you can find me. Find me just about anywhere. And if all else fails, go through her.
Yeah, you like, I
Along
need
with me.
Crystal. Just say I need Crystal, and I will tag her in and then get out. That's not an issue. So I seen that you guys had some questions here. So, all right, I have it.
Glasses
Crystal
on, I
can't
can
see
see.
y'all.
I
So
have
said,
eyes.
go get your glasses,
Hold
girl.
on, y'all.
We've been kind of moving around a lot. This was kind of really, really unexpected.
This was not really a planned
This
video.
wasn't a planned video, so don't fault us for the wiggling and moving and people speaking to us in the middle.
Okay, I can see now.
Okay, she can see, thank God. Use your glasses if you have some. All right. There's a whole lot of people who have it and don't know they have it. Oh, correct. It's a lot of
Absolutely.
people who are going through that. Keep up the good work. People don't want to talk about it, but they should. Thanks again. That's what we're here for. What about women in their 50s? It's hard to tell a new perspective mate that you have herpes. It's easy just to be celibate. You feel like damaged goods. Okay, tell her about that part of just being celibate just because you can't find somebody to
Okay,
accept you.
so, and that, like I said, I decided to be celibate right before herpes. Herpes at the beginning, it helped fuel it. Like, okay, I have to do this. But you don't. Honey, you'd be surprised. I have actually tried to use herpes as an excuse not to have sex. So, but being celibate for the reason of having herpes, I would say that's not a good reason to do it. If you're gonna do like celibacy, and especially if you decide being abstinent, celibate, whatever. If you're going to do it for you. Don't do it because you feel like you are obligated to because of herpes. Herpes is not going to stop you from having a normal sex life, a normal love life, any type of normal life at all unless you let it. So, telling guys about it, if you've decided to be celibate and that's really what you want to do, I would say, I always tell people I'm celibate first. It weeds them out.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
A lot of times, but from my experience, when I tell them I have herpes first, they're like, okay, whatever.
But you telling me you got
And then I drop the
celibacy?
bomb. I'm not having sex. They're like, dang, she can do a lot of stuff. So, but it weeds people out. Like, those are the ones who don't need to be around anyway. So I dropped the bomb, but I'm not having sex from the beginning. Like, hey, this is what it is. It's not going down. And then if they, even after they accept that, I still wait a minute. Because I gotta see if I like you before I tell you my business. I mean, obviously I tell my business.
No,
But
still.
even if you take celibacy out of it, I would say don't understand that you're not obligated to do anything if they accept it.
Yeah.
Like,
And most importantly, telling somebody, I have a blog on that. I'm going to post that blog here. That kind of give you a guideline on how to share that. So I'm not going to really go into that much. I do have videos on that, but I want to give you that blog that you can read over. And your age that has nothing to do with it.
Absolutely
Take
nothing.
your age out of it. I know it's kind of hard, being a woman even over 30 and haven't been married or been married and really just hard dating. My whole thing is we have to, as women, I want to speak to us women, we got to start putting limits on ourselves. We limit ourselves. Men at 60, 70 out here getting it.
and they are not talking about, oh, I'm an old maid.
They still having sex and
We
having
don't-
babies.
Right. They don't call it like, for a long time we were labeled as old maids if you weren't married and having kids by a certain time. They don't do that to themselves. They don't care.
We do that.
They celebrate it, actually.
Yeah,
They're like, whoo,
I
made it.
still can do it.
Maybe really is. So we gotta stop putting that limit on ourselves. Like,
It's
you
no limit
have
to
to
you.
be settled down or married with children or in some type of relationship by a certain age. We gotta stop doing that to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Well, we also got to be content with
Being us.
being by ourselves for a while, because sometimes you just truthfully honest. A lot of us have not came across a good guy. Truth. That's truth to it. Some people like, you can't say you never came across. No, you probably not have found what you're looking for. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could be at your age and you haven't found a great guy and he come with so much. You like, absolutely not. And that's fine. That happens a lot. But my whole thing is you also have to be content in it and live. Because sometimes we just hope our whole life and say, I ain't found a man, so you're not doing nothing on your bucket list. No, girl, I need you.
Off the bucket list today.
Right, we did off the bucket list there. But you need to be, by the time he come, he got to make some stuff up.
Right.
He got to make some stuff up. It's like, yep, I'm an older woman. I have traveled the world. I have been here, there, there. Right. So I don't know what you're going to come up with. Yeah.
50, them your golden years. You should be living right
Live
now.
it up. Live it up. And I know we want love. Love is huge. But my whole thing, love comes in so many forms. Love is just not romantic. Love is friendships. Love is family. Love is children. Love is just loving the things you like to do. Sometimes we limit relationships. A relationship is deeper than just that. It could be a guy that you're really good from. You love him. You know, but I know we want that intimacy and things like that. But if you haven't found it, it's okay. But you can't just continue to be scared.
And it can't be the number one focus. I feel like when we make, and I think we're all guilty of this at some point, but if you make that your 100% goal and 100% focus, it's going to make you miserable. Yeah, because then you're setting your expectations all the way up here. Like, when you're waking up and like, today is going to be the day I'm going to find a man. And it doesn't happen, your whole world shatters because you're not paying attention to all the other great things that are going on in your life. Like, your career could be thriving, you know, you could be making great moves financially, you could be buying a house. But if your main focus is to find a relationship, even when you do find it, if that's your main, you've put so much importance on it. So you put it like on this pedestal that if it doesn't go the exact way that you want it, your whole world's going to be shattered. So I feel like the focus really has to be on just doing you, making sure that you're good. All the extra will come.
One thing I would let y'all understand, relationship is not a goal.
It's work.
You know, it's not a goal. And we hear that relationship goals, like, it's really not a goal because honestly, it includes another person. And when it includes another person, you can control if that person is going to be with you or not. You can meet that amazing dude and he just said, you know what, I'm not ready for a relationship. I need to get myself together. You know, that stabs us in the chest. And it happens a lot. And that's not a bad thing because he just know I'm not ready for what you're ready for. And we have heard this multiple times. And we're like, it's a cop-out. It's really not a cop-out.
No, honestly, if lady, and this is for the ladies, if a man tells you that, say thank you.
And walk away.
He is doing you a favor. I would rather someone tell me, hey, I can't give you what you need right now. And, you know, I think you're great. I like you.
But I got to walk.
Because I'm not going to do right. And I can't give you what you need. Yeah. Then to stay there and damage me.
And I'm happy you said that, give you what you need. And you may hear a lot of good guys say, you know, I got to work on myself. And sometimes that work on myself is that if I want to have to be with you, I have to work on myself to give you what you need. And if I can't give you what you need, I got to get some work on. And then you may turn around and see him with another girl. He didn't have to work. He already was able to give her what she needed because he was already equipped. But for you, you required something.
You remember, and there's honestly, I used to get upset with that because I've had
I used to hate that. I'm like, oh, are you serious?
I got to the point where I was like, I'm tired of preparing other people's husbands. Like, it's ridiculous. But at the same time, you have to, I think we have this, especially as women, we like to be wanted and needed. And
I mean, that's what we're put here for.
We're natural nurturers, but we have to understand that everybody is not going to want and need us, and you don't want everybody to want and need you.
You could easily be used.
You could be I mean, it'll put you in a position to be used, abused, neglected, and you'll damage yourself like that. Because just think about all the people that we turn down and we don't want. Now, what if we took that need to want to be wanted and needed and be like, you know what, I'm gonna deal with you anyway.
You know how many people we've been stuck with?
You know how many people you be tied to, stuck with, dealing with their problems?
Some people really got some issues. Right. But women, we got to look at it from a different situation. Like, we are prepared to be in relationships because that's how we're taught. Like, we're taught as little bitty girls, and also from the word that, you know, it's not good for a man to be alone, and voila.
A man who findeth the wife
finds a good thing, you know, voila.
And it's a very good thing indeed.
But ladies, we have to also understand men take relationships serious. as much
More
as we
serious
don't
than we
think
do.
they take relationships serious. And now, yeah, we see the side chicks and all that stuff like that. But when you talk to some real men, and you wonder why they're not married, and you ask them why, they said that is a real deal, and it's a lot of responsibility, and I'm not ready for it.
It's either I'm not ready for it or I haven't found, and they will literally, I've had men really use the word, I have not found anyone
Worthy.
who is worthy of it. Because you have to look at it from this standpoint. When we get married, traditionally a woman takes her husband's last name. He is literally, when he marries you, giving you not just his last name but his legacy. You're bearing his children. They're more, I think, ladies, we got to be more selective about who we got kids with, because these men are so much more selective than we are.
Sometimes,
right? Some of them,
a lot of, honestly,
should
truth be told, a lot of these kids were mistakes. It
it was
sounds
an
mean,
accident. It wasn't a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
You know, God knows what he was doing, but not it was a unexpected.
Yeah, a lot of us had.
They were
kids
unexpected.
We wasn't planning for that.
Babies.
Yeah, they were babies.
But
it's like, I didn't want to have a kid with you.
Right.
I just wanted sex.
But that's the way that they look. Most
real men
look at marriage.
We're gonna talk about real men.
They look at it in the long term effect. Not, oh, you're cute and you got a Coke bottle shape and I think I like you, so I'm gonna give you my last name. They're looking at it like, if I marry her, I am stuck.
Yep.
This is the person who is going to have my children. This is the person who is going to represent me because she has my name. So she represents my family. This is the person who is I have to come home to every day, who is going to nurture me and my kids. Like, they really, really think about it.
Yeah. Or they make a mistake and think you're the one and you're not.
Right. So
we all do that.
We got to get to a point where it's okay to be selective. Ain't nothing wrong with being picky.
No, be picky, please.
Be picky.
I've been married, y'all.
Everybody's not for you.
I thought he was it.
It happens.
He wasn't it. He wasn't it. So with that being said, guys, like, we kind of went
we went way off.
Way off, but it is still after herpes. That's things that we have to consider in conversations we need to have. Because as women, we don't have these conversations with each other enough that we need to sit down, be quiet, and enjoy our own lives. We got so much to offer.
Who was he calling?
I have no clue.
Are you calling my mama? Sorry, y'all. That's right. I was calling my people.
Yeah, so with that being said, guys, like, that's all we had to say there. I'm going to go back up here and finish this reading. Okay, we all feel like that. I felt like that. My husband have it too.
He gave it
to me unknowingly. Yeah, that happens in a lot of relationships. It's very important that we got to get tested, guys. Like, and get tested for everything. But once again, he didn't know, and that's the sad part, And I know that took a big hit in your marriage, because the first thing you think, did he cheat on me? So yeah. So my whole thing is you really have to think about, like, okay, I cannot let it get in the middle, and we got to know the facts to it, And that's where the counseling comes in, where you get with somebody who can give y'all the facts. And let y'all know that, that's not the case. And believe your partner. Now, if he got some history of it, it's another situation. But if it's no history there that your partner ever stepped out on you, you got to trust that they say they did not know. Nobody's lying about this. This ain't gonorrhea committee. We're like, I ain't know, type of thing. Like, it still can be unknowingly, but truth be told, like, come on. This is one thing people just really don't know. It is such a hard thing to deal with. Yes, it is. I have HSV1 and contracted HSV2 while I was married. See, that happened to me. I had HSV2 already, and I contracted HSV1 in my marriage. So I've been there. Wow, sorry to hear that. I'm divorced now.
She said herpes isn't the reason, and that's what a lot of people have to understand.
Nope.
Herpes is not the reason for breakups. That relationship that I was in did not. It was every reason outside of herpes. Herpes was not the reason.
Yep, I didn't divorce my husband because of herpes. It has nothing to do with herpes at all.
Right. She said, I'm afraid to get into another relationship. No one wants to date a woman knowing that she has herpes.
That's not true.
That is so not true.
How can you? I want y'all to stop thinking that. Why would you say that? And I've been married. Why would you say that when the lady just above you just said that she was married? Mm-hmm. So my whole thing, in my mind and your mind, you letting us know that you don't believe it and you don't believe what we went through was real. Like, if it happened for me, it's no favoritism and nobody's special. Like, she was with somebody and been with multiple guys after that. Nobody really. You gotta believe that you can get back out here. But until you believe it, you're right. Nobody gonna want it.
Yeah, my first relationship after I found out with herpes, he was like, I told him, he was like, that's all you had to tell me?
Oh, no big deal.
Like, okay, so how was your day? Like, that's literally how that conversation
care.
went. He didn't care. So that's not true. It doesn't mean that nobody wants to be with you. If somebody doesn't want to be with you after you disclose to them,
They
they're
don't
just
want to
letting
be.
you
They
know
never want to
they
be
didn't
with
want to be
you.
with you. Period. Like,
wanna be
at
with
the end
you.
of the day, we got to get to a point where, one, you got to love yourself.
And that's hard.
It's
That's
hard. That's hard. That's hard
That's
for
the
everybody.
hardest.
Eat
That's the
herpes
hardest
or no
thing.
herpes.
That's hard.
But it helps because when it comes to disclosing, if I don't love myself and I'm disclosing and you said that you're not okay with it, it's gonna affect my self esteem.
Yep.
Like,
And I mean, I'm not saying even when you love yourself, it still stings.
it still stings a little bit.
Especially if you like. I don't have dudes who
like
you like them, but this is the reason why we can't go into it. Like, oh my God, like I'm gonna fall in love with him before disclosing. You gotta stop doing that, ladies.
No.
We get our feelings all wrapped up, and then or get it too far where he talking about he want to put a
ring
title on it or put a ring on it. You be like, oh, I gotta tell you something. That's not fair. I'm not gonna lie. That is so not fair because he's wrapped up in you, and it's a lie. Truth be told, he thinks that you're this lady without anything. And my whole thing, you're still great, but he still has the ability to choose. You wouldn't want somebody to wait until you basically like, oh my God, I really like you, and say, oh yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like honestly, coming from my side of it, I'm grateful. I got something that a lot of people didn't get.
Yeah.
I had an option. So I feel like when it comes to disclosing, I'm not saying that I meet somebody like, hi, my name is Crystal. I have herpes. Do you want to be with me or not? Like, no.
No.
I take my time and get to know you because you don't have to tell everybody you
Please
meet.
don't, ladies.
Don't do that to yourself.
You're
It's
gonna
not
have
worth
a
your
really
time.
hard time.
Go on some dates. Get to know this person because you might decide by date 3 that you disgust me and I don't like the way you chew your food and your breath stank and I don't want to talk to you no more.
Now, you don't treat your kids good. You don't take
Right,
care
you know,
of your kids.
you get to know these people before you disclose. I definitely agree with that. We're just saying don't wait till it gets to a point where it's so serious that it's going to cause trust issues.
Oh yes.
Especially with the men because the biggest the thing that we see a lot is women aren't disclosing or disclosing and having sex is a whole nother issue. But they're not disclosing. It gets serious. And they wait so long, and then when they go back and tell, it's like, you lied to me. Like, why didn't you give me a choice?
And it makes a
most of the
relationship
time,
it don't work.
their choice would have been to stay anyway.
'Cause they like
so
you.
the issue isn't that you have herpes. The issue is I don't trust you because you didn't tell me the truth from the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, it's not when you first meet them. Don't let nobody fool you. It's not when you first meet them. It's after y'all both establish that y'all like each other. Y'all talking a lot, and I'm a strong believer in taking opportunities. If you got the opportunity and y'all are really vibing and y'all are having a good time, and you got the opportunity, if he break up, hey, when the last time you get tested? Drop the bomb. You got the opportunity. Take it.
My opportunity is the moment that anything regarding sex comes up, I am.
Take the
Hey,
opportunity.
by the way, when's the last time you got tested?
Yeah, and still get them tested.
Have you
still
ever
need
had
to see
anything?
something. Yeah,
Right.
and I asked them, have you ever had an STD ever? Because it's time to have a real. Stop acting like teenagers. Acting like you're scared to talk about. I cannot believe how many adults are scared to ask a person if they ever been tested.
But that's because we weren't taught to ask people that.
Yes, we was. It's just the fact of it's not being pushed.
That's right. It wasn't pushed. I think growing up, like I remember we were taught to, hey, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you guys go get tested together. Yeah. But nobody ever told, like my personal experience, nobody ever told me, hey, ask them if they've ever had it. Like that's not something you think about.
No, you never asked that. I just learned that now.
But now knowing what we know, it's because my thing is, that'll give you a little bit of insight into what you're dealing with too.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying judge them off the fact that they may have previously had.
But you'll
something,
understand the trauma they experienced with
But-
having
right.
something.
And you'll also understand their viewpoint on it too. So if you ask them like, hey, have you ever had anything? They was like, oh yeah, I got something, but it was curable. I had it like 6-7 times. Like, okay, wait, pause.
6-7 times.
Yeah, but I took my pills and I got rid of that. Like, wait, okay.
Okay,
so
your behavior.
Your behavior pattern hasn't changed, and why after time number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 did you not realize that, hey, maybe I need to take some type of precautions to protect myself or the people that I'm with? Like, those are red flags. So I feel like when you get to a point where you start asking people questions and you start getting to know them and picking their brain,
you choose not to be with them. You choose not to be with them. We need to start having adult conversations. We're not kids anymore, other than the ones who are young. But most of us are 25 and up. And we are too scared to ask these questions. They are grown men. They can answer. Let them answer. If they don't want to have a conversation.
Under, still ask.
Still ask as well. But I feel like we are the scariest ones. I'm coming to learn that a lot of the
younger ones are. Yeah, the younger ones are pretty bold.
Yeah, they were like, what? But older ones, I'm learning that, we get so comfortable not asking questions.
And they deal with the stigma longer.
Yeah, and we gotta. I mean, this is just not for people who have herpes. This is people. Period. We have to ask questions, and then we wonder we get in a situation. And you go, oh yeah, I had that multiple times. I talking to this guy. You're like, yeah, I got chlamydia back in the day, and oh my god, I was this, that, and it was good because we were able to have a conversation and talk about how did that make you feel. What type of relationship you was in. How did you protect yourself after that? Were you scared of even having sex? Now he's like, fuck it, I used to have sex all the time. Now I'm like, oh,
like, were you doing it and were you running around not telling people like? These are things you need to know.
He started using precaution. Sex ain't even that important to him. It's like, yeah, it's great, but I've been through some stuff before. So let me see. Okay, so I'm afraid to get into it. Okay, we said that. I need to heal, and I see that now. Yes, healing is great. What is the best treatment you can take to keep it under control so I don't give it to anybody? The only thing you can do is take the antivirals, and then after that is learning your triggers. It ain't
no. The only thing that you could outside of that, disclose.
Yep.
And let them make the decision that they're okay with it. I am the perfect example of taking every precaution. You can. At the end of the day, you have to come to the terms with the fact that there is really nothing you can do. If it happens, it happens, and you have to get to a point where, if they've accepted it,
they have to just take the point side that they took responsibility for it.
Yeah. At this point, it's kind of like signing a release form. Like, I hate to put it like that.
A little waiver.
But it's like a waiver. Do you accept the terms and conditions? These are, and not just with herpes, but with me, period. These are the things that come with me. Like, when you get in a relationship and you start getting to know somebody, and then you start realizing things about them, and you realize, like, okay, they spend their money a little freely. And you have signed off on that waiver. You have accepted the terms and conditions of that relationship. So same thing with herpes. Get to the point where you're okay with the fact that they are okay with it.
Okay. What else is here? Is it easier for women, or versus men? It's nothing easy for nobody. It's hard on both sides. Herpes is hard for everybody. Did you have raw sex with your husband only when you were ready to have sex? I'm not getting married and using condoms. I'm being honest. Nobody's really doing that. I had sex with my husband. Even before that, me and my husband was having unprotected sex, but we had the conversation and everything like that, and he was absolutely fine with it. No, we wasn't using using condoms. I thought once you have one type, you can't get the other. That's not true. One type is one type. Another type is another type. So you can get both. It's possible to get both. It's a positive contrary either type, even if you already have one. Yes. Yes. Y'all, I will really strong that y'all go look at my video on types. Type 1 is type 2, because y'all understand the purpose of them types, and then understand how much those types don't really matter. Like, where your herpes, like your sites are more important, because if I have type 1 and type 2 and I only have oral, that's where I can transmit. Or if I have both types and I only have it below, then that is my infection site. It's not my mouth, because that's not where I have an outbreak. Where you contract is where you have your outbreaks at. And now, if it's difficult for you, if you do not have outbreaks at all, okay, now that's where the confusion comes in, because now you're like, I have no clue, and I'm freaking out.
I think it's important to know your type, but more importantly, just where it is.
Yeah, where it is,
so that you understand. When it comes, the precautions you need to take when it comes to your sex life or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And just think, and I get this a lot, that a person may have it oral, and they was like, well, we can't have general sex. Oh my God, you didn't use a condom. He's not going to get it. Or she's not going to get it.
It doesn't automatically mean
No, it don't. It's wherever your infection site is. Now, like I said, for your individuals who never had an outbreak, and I want y'all to understand, outbreak is not what you see, it's what you feel too. So if you're feeling itching, burning in your face, that is a symptom in your face.
All over. I get itchy all over.
Well, she get itchy all over. But that's still a symptom as well. But you know where your infection sites are. I'm talking for people who don't really know their infection sites, and they just need to know symptoms.
Well, I know now, but I'm saying, like how we said that I didn't know where.
Oh
yeah. From. And then later on, I realized this has been here for a while because I didn't know what I was looking for. I'm looking for a full blown outbreak. I found some little bumps were in the clear. but not knowing that all these other symptoms
Which is
existed.
the itching all over, like she
Like I
said.
itch all over. Some people's,
Aching
you
legs,
know, they
aching
have
muscles,
nerve pain, aching body, and
burning in the
some
face,
people's lymph
itching.
nodes swell up.
Yeah.
So just
Down
knowing what to
below,
look for.
neck here. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you get
I
the
do
burning
that.
in your face or burning down there, burning when you urinate, itching on your lips or tingling on your lips or tingling in your skin. You feel like a creepy crawler. You're like, ugh,
Okay, like,
what
you're
is that
like, what's wrong with
feeling?
me? Yeah.
Yeah. Or you get a fever. Some people get fevers. They bust out into a fever or
Some
they feel
people
like they're
get
sick.
continuous BV.
Oh, yeah. Some people get BV a lot.
It gets mistaken for BV a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so many different things. So where are we? Both types can cause outbreaks, but many are, yes, you're
Asymptomatic.
asymptomatic. That's
Yep.
true. That's absolutely true.
Are there stronger types?
No. Herpes is herpes. That was actually my next question, whether or not I should be giving my man oral sex without a problem. I have no visible outbreaks. You told him.
If
No,
he
you told him.
knows and he's okay with it, then have fun.
Just do you. You know, when, just like I said, when you if you feel any symptoms, our outbreak is not visual. You got to think about them symptoms. You get them itching on your lips or they're burning or you getting swollen lymph nodes. Then you're like, you know what, babe, not today. We could do some genital, but we can't do no oral. You know,
Right, get creative.
Clearly your man probably loves that anyway. I swear, listen to you. You have given me a courage and helped me feel better about myself. Yay, me and Crystal are awesome. Yay. We're here to help. Same here. I'm glad I found Miss Belize. Oh, yay. Okay, guys. We're not going to stay on here too much longer. Anybody else have any more questions? Got 2 more questions. I really hope this helped. There was the whole point of bringing Crystal on. I've been wanting to bring her on for a while because I want y'all to hear from a point from somebody who I helped.
Real deal, y'all. She
And
just coaxed me into a video. I didn't know I was going to be there today.
set up.
It was such a
That's
setup.
what we do. Like,
But I'm glad I came.
yeah, but you at my house. You got no choice. So with that being said, guys, Hayden, go see what your brother's doing, please.
Please go here, ice.
It sounds like he's like dropping the whole
He's
world
playing
in
with
there.
the ice machine.
So,
It's just one.
you any guys who do what you do? Is there any guys? I never met any guys. Only guy that I met is a Caucasian guy, and he's really, really great. And you can find him on YouTube who share different tips as well. But he's the only guy that I ever heard that, you know, that really talks about herpes. Everybody else is women. But I help men as well. So don't feel, if you feel comfortable with me, just reach out to me. I'll talk to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
open to men and women.
I'm open to men and women. I'm open to all races as well. Your whole body's itchy. That's for some people. That's
For me, that's one of like my symptoms. So not like I'm just like that, but I just get this creepy crawly feeling, and it's kind of like something's crawling on you type thing. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, what's that? And it gets really annoying. So my body, that's how I know that's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's different for everybody. That's why it's very important to learn your triggers. And y'all come to me like, well, I keep getting outbreaks because you keep triggering it. You keep triggering
No,
it. It don't
I'm
matter
not
if you're, I don't care how many supplements you take. I don't care how much Valtrex you sit down your throat. It's not going to make a difference. Them triggers are very important. This is one virus that is based off your nervous system. And y'all don't understand. Your nervous system is based off your feelings and your brain. So if you are stressed, voila. That's the one thing that your nervous system always respond to is stress.
And then sometimes you have, like I said, you have to know your body too. Some people, foods set them off. Like,
yeah.
I can't have a lot of sugar. Sugar's a trigger. So,
You set your alarm on. Okay, children are being children right now. He just set her alarm off on her car. Well, let everybody in the neighborhood know you got an alarm.
got it. It's off.
So, yeah. So for her, it's sugar. Some people it's chocolate. Some people it's junk food. Some people it's
Some people can't take medicine.
Oh yeah, some people
Some people
they're
it
allergic
makes
to
it
the
worse.
Valtrex. And that can cause some issues as well. So I feel like it's very important for you guys to, it's trial and error with things. You got to figure it out. And when you figure it out, keep doing what works. And y'all always hear me, you know, use this, use that. But if you can't use it, you can't use it.
And then
Find
also
something else.
realize that in the very beginning, especially if you've had herpes for less than a year, maybe 2, do not expect to know all your triggers at one time.
No, don't stress yourself out.
Don't stress yourself out saying, okay, I have to take everything out of my life.
Girl, if you don't eat, we foodies.
Eat.
We're foodies over here. We like, eat.
Have chocolate, have cake,
Figure it out.
all that stuff. Everybody's triggers are different, and you'll learn them as you go. When you start realizing that every time you do, it's kind of like, okay, well, last time I had an outbreak, what was I doing? You kind of have to sit down and question yourself. What was going on in my life? Was I stressed out? Was I eating a whole bunch of junk food? Like, what was it?
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of start noticing patterns. And once you start noticing those patterns, you'll figure out my trigger.
Yeah. And if you're having a lot of outbreaks, you have to find out ASAP. And y'all, and the main reason, like a lot of us, or I always say us, but it's because you're stressed. You will have an outbreak month after month, especially if this is happening to you, because your stress level is over 1,000.
Oh my gosh. If you are stressing yourself out saying, oh my, especially for people who have not had outbreaks, because we get this a lot. I haven't had a outbreak yet. I don't know when it's coming. Like, how do I know? You're stressing yourself out about having an outbreak.
You're gonna have
You
one.
are going to have.
That's not guaranteed.
It's not. You're
It
not
can
guaranteed,
happen.
but you will think. Cause stressing yourself out and worrying about when you're going to have an outbreak or how it's going to happen will push you into one at some point.
And you don't want it,
And
guys.
you don't want it.
You don't
Like, if
want
you've
it.
never had one, be grateful for being asymptomatic. That is awesome.
Absolutely. All you gotta do is disclose and
Disclose and keep it moving.
take what you can
If you're
take to help.
asymptomatic, because we do come across people who feel like they don't have to disclose because of that. That's not a reason not to disclose.
You still disclose.
Just because you're asymptomatic does not mean you can't pass it on.
Yep.
That's actually how a lot of people pass it on because they don't have symptoms.
And my whole thing is, I want y'all to understand, asymptomatic is no outbreak. Like, literally, you're having an outbreak and you don't know it. Because most people are very
Right.
unaware that it is, and it's so mild. And then people who are just shedding.
I feel like we use the word outbreak. We put outbreak in a box. So when people say outbreak, they think something visible.
It's not visible.
Outbreak is
also.
any symptom at all. So like how I said I get that creepy crawly feeling and I'm itching. If I was in some type of relationship where I was having sex, I would know that
That's
okay,
no.
this is technically an outbreak. This is not the time to do that.
Yep. And then you wait a week after healing everything up or not having that symptom. You wait a week because a lot of
7
y'all
days.
like, when do y'all know? A week.
After the symptom
Are
or
gone.
the sores go away.
A whole week. And ladies and guys, please make sure you know what your part look like normal. Because a lot of us don't know, and I'm not trying to be mean, but you need to know what it looks like normal. So now you're not like, well, the color discolored. I will let y'all know wherever you have your outbreaks, you may have a little discoloring because of the scabs and things like
Get
that.
a mirror. We don't think we explore our bodies enough. Like
Yeah, we
need
gotta
to
see what it looks like.
get
Well,
in the
guys, it's pretty
bathroom
easy. He can kind of look down.
And
But for us,
get
we
a
need to
mirror
look in there.
and just get in there and be like, what does this look like on a regular day? What does this look like on a bad day?
Yeah, you need to know what it
Ladies,
look like.
You know what your bad day is. Like, you know when things are good, and we all know when we be like, ooh, it's something just off today.
You need to look at it.
You need
and
to
see.
look at it. What's going on in there? Feel it.
Wash your hands after.
Wash your hands afterwards. But get all up, like, you need to know your body like the back of your hand. Get all up in there.
Yeah.
Because how can I go to the doctor and explain what's really going on with me? And I think
If
that's
you
where
don't
the
know.
misdiagnosis comes in.
Yes.
Because we don't know what normal is. So
And
I
your
can't say
your daughter don't know when your vagina looks like or your penis looks
They don't
like on
see
a
it every
normal
day.
day. So they see so many every day. They be like, yours look normal to me.
they all look different. So like fingerprint, they all different. So you got to know what your normal is, so that when something changes,
You be like, no, this is not normal.
you have to talk to a doctor, or even just do something yourself about it. You could be like, okay, this is what's different. Now let's figure out why.
Correct. So asymptomatic is when you're not having any outbreaks at all, or they're very mild, but you can still shedding. Shedding is when you surface, but you have no symptoms at all. You do not know when you're shedding. The only times I know for a fact that you're shedding is before an outbreak, which you don't know you're having one, and after the outbreak. That's why you wait a week.
Right.
That's it. Other
Shedding
than
is
that,
uncontrollable.
you can't control it. The only thing you can control is after your outbreak, and that's why I said after a week. So now you know for sure you're not, that virus is still not lingering, because just because you don't see it doesn't mean the virus went back to a silent
dormant
moment,
state,
a dormant state. Because that's what it is. A dormant state is when you're not having any outbreaks, y'all. That's a dormant state. No outbreaks, nothing's going on. It's just still,
Chilling.
it's chilling. Nothing going on at all. And then, whoop, it comes back up and you go into the outbreak step. Okay, I just explained that. Shedding is when the virus is active, but you're not dispensing. Girl, you about to tell him this,
Yes.
Chris. Is that Chris? Hey, boo. I'm sorry, my face all in here. Yeah, that's Chris. Hey, Chris. I love you, boo. Okay. All right, guys. I hope that helped. Know where to find us if you want to be in support group. The information is going to be low. As soon as this is up, you can add me on Facebook, or even add Crystal on Facebook. That's Crystal Jordan, and ask her to join the group, and she'll add you as well. So don't feel like you just have to ask me. You can ask for her to add you as well. And if you need support Like, if you need to do a session with me, nothing wrong with that. Sign up for a session. If you need couples, I'm really into doing couple sessions because couples are really, really struggling. I'm sure if y'all had that, it would have made a hell of a difference.
Yes.
Because now you got somebody who understands from that standpoint, and really, and I think it's even more important for the person who have it so they can relate, but also for the other partner to see my partner is trying to work this out, and I need to see that.
I need
okay,
to know what can I do to help
yeah.
them.
And that partner, sometimes your partner will not tell you. They're going to tell the other person who can relate because they already feel like you don't understand. But if you can hear the dialogue, now you can say, and I can say, what do you think your partner to do? And they'll tell you. Now you can write down, like, I need to do this, this, and that. And when they had a moment, and for guys, sometimes guys just don't want to be talking about it. So you like, well, that babe, are you having a day? And he be like, yeah. I'm like, well, do you need anything? I can go get you something to eat.
And that's why part of the people that want
You
to
know.
or people who don't have it and want to, or either in that relationship or want to be in a relationship with somebody, like, I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, but that's where the counseling coming in. Even if it's just not for me,
yeah.
just get counseling, period, because it makes a difference. So now y'all can have that dialogue. You can finally hear your partner be transparent, because sometimes they're too scared to be transparent with you because they're worried about you, but they're worried about themselves, but they're really worried about you
because they don't
at the same time.
On you.
Yeah, so I say that counseling will really open that door for you guys to see and hear some things you need to hear, because sometimes your partner who don't have it wants you to know that I love you and I want to be with you. Tell them that I'm the person for them. Tell them that I want to be with them. Like, convince them.
That, but I think even especially for the people who like don't have it and are with somebody, the counseling helps you not just deal with them, but deal with all the emotional stuff that's going on with you, because like I said, like, cheating wasn't really a thought in my mind until that came up. So now you're dealing with all this. Some things are going to surface.
Oh yeah,
because you have it, or even down to like the thought that I have to be here because I've accepted this and I don't want to,
Well, and a lot of you guys decide I want to leave, and it may not have anything to do with herpes, but you feel like herpes, I can't leave down
because
here.
You were the one. Yeah, I felt like that. I couldn't leave because I was the one who accepted it, and I felt bad. It made me feel,
I'd be wrong to leave him here at this state. He don't have anybody.
Right. And
women,
so
we are not.
Counseling helps with that.
We don't have to stay
because it helps you realize, like, okay, what's the real problem? Is it that the herpes is an issue, or you got other stuff going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
And somebody else
somebody said something. Can you kiss someone even when you don't have sores in your mouth? Absolutely.
Kiss on.
Kiss on. You can. My whole thing is I want y'all to do anything. The only time you do not do anything is when you feel something or you see something.
There's absolutely nothing you can't do.
Yeah, you can do everything, but y'all are freaking out about that shedding part. You can't do nothing about it, truth be told. The only thing you do is take medicine, which is the antivirals or whatever, or you can do olive leaf. But truth be told, guys, it's still a risk there. That is not a cure. It's not. It's just decreasing it.
The best thing you could do is have that conversation.
Yeah, and they understand. I feel like that's more important than anything.
I'm about to say, because no matter not just, and I feel like the conversation of, hey, I have this, are you okay with it? But the conversation has to go deeper than that. It needs to be, okay, how would you feel if you got this? Would you be okay with it? Are you going to resent me? Are you going to lash out? Are you not going to,
because like, most people
deep into the conversation, not just, oh, well, they said they're okay.
No, they don't.
With me having herpes. Are you okay with what happened? Are you okay with the possibility of someone finding out that I have herpes?
Ooh.
How would you feel if somebody came to you about me having herpes? Are you going to be ashamed of me? Are you not going to? Are you going to defend me? Are you going to stop dealing with me because now it's out there? Like, really get into that conversation, and that's really going to help when y'all are talking about disclosing. It's going to help when you have that conversation.
You're going to see if he's even worth it.
Because
he can say, I can accept you, but you like, I don't, and you can declare, no, you do not.
Are you, and then also the conversation of, are you okay with me having herpes? Like, you're okay with having sex with me? Or are you okay with being in a relationship with me?
Oh, that's two different things, y'all.
Those are two different things. There are people who will say, I'm cool with it, and have sex with you, but when it comes down to,
and then he disappear.
Like,
that happens a lot.
So have a real deal conversation, not just like a 2 sentence.
I was like, oh yeah, I got it. It's acceptable. No, ask him, what do you accept?
Right.
What are you accepting? Accepting the fact that I'm a good person and you okay with it? Or are you accepting, just like I said,
terms and conditions, sign on the dotted line.
Yeah, you need to ask a lot of questions. How would you feel when we can't have sex because I'm having outbreaks back to back?
Right. Like, what kind of person are you? How long can you go without having sex?
Yes, it's very, very important in your relationship.
It's important to you. If I'm having an outbreak and I can't do anything, are there things that, talk about that? Well, what are, is there something that I can do you know,
Can we do other
can
things?
we do other things? Are you gonna be upset that maybe I had 3 outbreaks back to back and we haven't had sex in a month? Those kind of
Yes.
things.
It happens a lot. It's some people who had outbreaks month after month, and
Like,
their
are you
partner is
are
just.
you the kind of person who's gonna step out if we don't have sex for 3 months
Oh.
because I'm having outbreaks back to back? Like, have those conversations.
Please, ladies. That's why I say it's time to have adult conversation and stop being shallow. We're being so
Gentlemen
shallow.
too, same thing.
Yeah.
Have that conversation.
Because that girl,
It
she may
happens on
say,
the guys.
I'm good with it, but girl, he ain't kissed me in months.
Right.
I don't think he liked me no more. And that's not the case. He's just scared. Truth be told, he's scared he's going to give it to you. So,
Let's see.
yes.
Yes, Chris. Education.
Chris, you better get them together. Yes, you can use Tom, sweetie. You have no problems at all.
Use it all.
Have fun. Oh, okay, understand. Thank y'all.
It's me. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey, Chris, I love you. So, with that being said, guys, yeah, I think we answered everybody's question. Y'all know where to find me. You know where I am, and we hope this really blessed y'all. I really do. This was great, Chris. We got to do more of this.
We gotta do more collaboration.
Ooh. Okay, so yeah, we just came up with the idea. So with that being said, guys, we love you.
Everybody
And
work now.
look out for something good that's about to happen, because I think this is going to truly be a blessing to you guys. So I'll be talking to you guys soon, and talking to Crystal soon, because y'all can reach out to her. And what's your channel?
It's under my name. It's under Crystal Jordan.
Oh, Crystal Jordan. Go over it. Make sure you like her page. Watch the videos she have. Ask questions. Like I said, reach out to her if you've been in that situation, and go from there. So I love you guys, and talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Go see Black Panther.
Oh, we're gonna see that tonight. Yeah, go see it.
Okay, talk to y'all. Bye.
Speaking of which, she said,
Yeah.